with the abbreviated non-conference schedule complete, kind of where do you think the team stands right now, and where do they need to get most better at, if you will, entering conference play?
Where do we need to get most better at? I've never heard anybody say it like that, Greg. That's pretty good. I think, first of all, there's two major areas that we've really been. You look at all the stats, we're not shooting the ball well, and we're turning it over a lot. And so offensively, we got to do that. But I still think if you're going to be a really, really good team, you got to get better defensively. And so we're looking at all phases. We're trying to do some things. Last week, we really tried to work hard to stop turning it over. And I think that getting a better quality shot, particularly from the outside, and getting our younger players to understand what is a good shot and what's not a good shot. Best man in my wedding, my best friend in high school, he said you should shoot it if it feels like leather. And I think we've got we've had some of those shots made it seem like that. But those areas right there, and where we stand, I haven't seen hardly anybody in the ACC play any games except for watching a game and a half of what NC State's played so far. But I think it's going to be a good league, and but I haven't seen enough to even know what everybody else is doing.
We've made a big deal in the media about the slow starts. Is that a concern for you?
Probably not as much as it does give you guys something to write about, I guess. But we started the UNLV game down 13-0 and we won by 18, I think. So I would like to start better, yeah. But I look at the total game probably more so than how we start. And to be honest with you, I look at the last 4 minutes more than I look at anything, because that's usually crunch time, and that's when we really got to play better there. Yeah, I don't like what we're doing during the start of the games, and we're even trying to change our warm-ups and do things to get a little more activity out there to see if that'll help.
Thanks.
Kip, then CL.
Yeah, hi, Roy. After the way Kerwin Walton shot the ball Saturday, do you see him getting more playing time, especially regarding the shooting deficiencies that you just mentioned?
Yeah, I think that, I'm not going to get too excited about what he did. I didn't get too excited. I'm looking down here now. So he's 5 for 12. So if my math is right, that means he was 2 for 9 before that, if I'm looking at the right column. And so he makes them in practice. He has some stretches in practice in our shooting drills where he makes a lot of shots. I think that he's probably been averaging around 10, 11, 12 minutes each game. We do need some guys in the game that are going to make shots. And I think that was extremely important to us. And I think Puff is a little bit of that too. And so there's going to be more opportunities for anyone, the more successful you are. And I think, needless to say, his offensive performance against Kentucky was huge for us. Now he's got to be able to do the things defensively and ball handling that he doesn't balance out his great shooting. But I'm very pleased with him as a young man and the work ethic that he has. And hopefully he will get more minutes, because that means that shots going in a lot more. And so I like that.
CL.
Hi, Roy. With the way you guys handled the ball against Kentucky, only 11 turnovers, are you more comfortable going into a game like this against State, that a team that is known to press a lot and to want to try and extend the court and get you in trap situations?
I really always in the past have liked people to press us because it makes it a full court game. Some people just press to slow you down and aren't really aggressive with it. But State really does try to take the ball away from you. And so I've always liked to play in those kind of games, but never with two freshman guards out there. It's a little more scary this time than it has been in the past. And I think that's Kevin's philosophy and what he tries to do, and they do a nice job of it. We can't go over there and expect to be successful if we turn the ball over 25 times or something crazy like that. And only turning it over 11 times Saturday was much better than what we've been doing, but we'd like it even lower than that, or keep it at that, but have more possessions. The percentage of our turnovers is what bothers me.
Andrew Jones.
Coach, Armando's been fairly productive and fairly consistent so far this year. What have been some of the major differences in why he's had more success, and also kind of how he's approaching things differently this year as opposed to last year?
Well, he's in better shape. He's more athletic. He's more mature. His body's better, and he's simplified his game. It's not spin left, spin right, spin left, spin right, and try to shoot a shot. And I think that now he's focusing on the rim. He's trying to go up strong and realize how big he is, how long he is, and he doesn't have to do all the twirls and spins that he's done in the past. So I think the biggest thing is just simplifying what he's doing and getting more confidence that it's been successful for him.
A quick follow-up. He mentioned the word maturity the other day. He said he's more mature. Can you kind of elaborate on that from your perspective?
Well, I think he's just more serious about the game. His work ethic is better. His workouts are better. What he's doing with the team, he sees the big picture. And I think that comes from maturity on both the offensive and the defensive end. We talk about seeing the big picture, and the freshmen that you get the first couple of weeks, they have no idea what you're talking about. And the quicker they get it, the better. And some guys don't get it throughout a whole freshman year possibly. But I just think everything about him is more serious now. And I don't mind a fun-loving kid. I love that. But I think that Armando has put in more work, and it's more structured work than he had in the past.
Josh Graham.
Hey, Coach. It's been talked about that this is the earliest meeting State and Carolina have had in a very long time, dating back to the ACC Big Four days. I'm just interested in your memories of the ACC Big Four tournament and what you make of this series being played so early.
It makes no difference at all to me. It really doesn't. I mean, we got to play people and play them. Some people you play twice, and so it hasn't made one bit of difference to me when I saw where it was on the schedule. Yes, I was around in the old Big Four days, and the ACC at that time was no more than 8 schools. It might have even been just 7. And because I was here at one point when there were only 7 schools in the league, and you're talking about 15, it's a completely different outlook out there now. But I didn't really like the Big Four, and I don't think any coach did. If you think about one thing, that early in the season, somebody's going to be 0-2. And so I didn't really like it that much just for that reason. And I don't know that we ever went 0-2, but it was a lot of pressure and something that could make you lose some confidence early instead of getting some confidence.
Luke Buxton.
Coach, Andrew Platek shot 23% from 3 on the year last year and is currently at 42%. What factors
If he goes back to 23, I'm going to blame your butt too.
What factors can you attribute to his success, whether it's better shots, practice in the offseason? Just kind of want to hear your thoughts on his growth.
All of it is part of it, but Andrew has a bad habit of going up, and when he goes up, he's got such a severe upper body lean to the back. I can show you every shot he's shot in the past, and I would bet you 75% of his misses are going to hit the front rim. And so that's the one thing I talked to him about last year, didn't get it fixed. Talked to him about it last spring, over the summer, tried to get that fixed. And he missed one right across from our bench in a game against Kentucky that I had that look. It looked like he'd gotten back, but then he made a big one right in front of our bench a little bit later. But he's definitely a kid that works on it extremely hard. He's put up a number of shots. He's worked on that. And so I'd say the practice has been the most important thing. But he did have a physical thing that he's needed to stop because it was just hampering his shooting percentage.
Thanks, Coach.
Anybody else? All right, thank you very much. Again, the game's been switched to 7 p.m. still on the ACC network. Thank you very much.
Steve,
Sure.
did you see Joe raising his hand? I didn't know if he was waving bye-bye or that he was going to say something.
I didn't. Joe, you got something to say?
Yes, please.
Please, go ahead.
Roy, you've had some vile things said to you at PNC Arena, but I also know that you're a heck of a competitor and you enjoy shutting people up. So will you miss NC State fans tomorrow night?
Joe, I'll be honest, I've never thought of it that way. Yeah, they've been a pretty tough crowd over there, some of the things they say, but once I go out and sit down in warm-ups and watch warm-ups. A lot of coaches don't do that, and that gives them a free rein to yell at me then when they're not cheering for what's going on in the game. That'll be the only time that I'll really miss it, because once the game starts over there, their fans have been so great over the years that my hope is that we can silence the crowd by how well we play. So I'll still be focused on how well we play, but I will be looking around out there to see if there's going to be somebody there that'll want to yell at me just for old time's sake.